welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be reviewing my monthly products that are probably on the chopping block. We're going to be talking about those products, if I will be keeping them, if not, and we'll be talking about the products that I will be adding for the chopping block of the month of September. So we're right around the corner. We're about 2 days, if shorter than, to September. So today's August 30th. I'll be doing an update of the products that I had previously and kind of talking about if I'm going to be decluttering them, if I'm going to be keeping them, and just adding newer products. If that's something you guys are interested in, let's go ahead and get into the video. I will say, all of these products, if not most of them, are on my face today, so we'll talk about that. The only thing that is not on my face that is from this chopping block is my powder, which I have the e.l.f. Halo Glow powder under my eyes today. And I'm hopefully here showing you guys like up close, like a natural lighting. I'm trying to get as much natural lighting. I'm kind of like, it's around 6 p.m. so I'm trying to get the most natural light coming in so you can kind of see everything up close. You can see my texture, you can see the highlighter, everything like that. So I'll go ahead and start by talking about the chopping block product foundation, which is the Covergirl True Blend Hydrating Foundation Smoothing Natural Finish Foundation. I have mine in the shade M1. I think it is more of like a pink undertone, to be honest, for me, but it's very pretty on my skin. I feel like it looks really nice. It feels like light coverage. I will say I do have a little bit more texture, but that's because of the highlighter. It's not because of the foundation. I do like the foundation, however, I don't think I like it enough to keep it the whole month that I've been trying it. I think it's just meh. It's not like, oh my god, you need to go out and buy this, but it is a pretty good foundation. I think if you're someone that doesn't have a lot of makeup and you want like a light coverage, very easy to use foundation, this would be your go-to. But for me personally, because I do have a lot of foundations in my collection and because I have foundations that I know I love more than this will be going away from my collection and will be decluttered. So concealer that I have in here is the Covergirl True Blend Undercover concealer, and I'm actually liking how it looks. I only added one little dot in the middle of both of my under eyes, and I think that that's enough of this concealer. It is very, very high coverage. This, I would say, is a really good dupe for the Tarte. It's a Tarte Shape Tape concealer that I don't think is available anymore. I'm not 100% sure. Don't come for me because I know they have their newer creamy version, but I think this is a really good dupe for that concealer, and I think I'm going to keep this one in my collection a little longer and play with it more because I did like how it looks under my eyes. I think it's a really good one for the drugstore and it's really affordable. So Covergirl concealer, I think it's about $10 max from the drugstore, so I'm going to keep it. I have mine in the shade Buff Beige, which is my perfect shade, so I'm going to keep that one. Let's talk about cheek products. The first cheek product that I'm going to go ahead and talk about is the Natasha Denona Tan Bronze and Glow palette. I have the bronzer blush all over my face. This product's all over my face as a bronzer. It's not 100% my go-to, but it is really pretty, and I love the highlighter in here, so I will be keeping this in my collection a little longer. And it's just gonna be, I have to use it more. I have to make it a point to use this bronzer kind of blush shade because it is a really pretty one. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this in my collection a little longer and just kind of treasure it a little bit longer. All right, another cheek product is the Milani Cheek Kiss Nude Kiss Blush in 110. It's currently what I have. I'm actually really liking how it looks on my cheeks. It's a really pretty kind of like a rosy color. It's just really pretty. It is a cream product. It is very emollient. It's very creamy. I will say I do use these products with a stipple brush to keep that in mind. This is how I personally like to use cream products. This is just how they work for me. So I am using that with a stippling brush, and I will be keeping it. I will be keeping it a little longer and using it more in my collection. So that's going to stay. One that unfortunately will be leaving is the Koki Highlighting Soft Glow Highlighter in the shade Heavenly. It just unfortunately does not work for me. It doesn't accentuate my texture too much to the point where it looks really pretty on the skin. Again, don't get me wrong, but I have other shades pretty similar to this, and it's just not really kind of like up my alley anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this highlighter. Two more highlighters that I have in here are the Lunar Beauty highlighters. I will be keeping the shade in Mars, which is actually what I have on my cheeks today. I have the shade in Mars. You would think that this shade doesn't look what it looks like on my cheeks, but this is the shade that I'm currently wearing as a highlighter. I think it is very pretty. These do accentuate my texture, however. Again, I'll show you up close. This is, I have a little teeny bit on my forehead here, but this is what it looks like on my cheeks. Again, it is very pretty, but they do accentuate my texture. I will be keeping the shade Mars. However, I will be getting rid of this shade Mercury because it is way too light on my skin. And this is like really frosty. Maybe as an inner corner highlight, but I have palettes that do that for me, and this just unfortunately is not it. Again, I'm keeping the shade Mars that I have on my cheeks. I'm getting rid of Mercury. All right, I'm trying to move along fast, so I'm sorry if I'm speaking kind of quickly. Let's talk about some lipsticks. I have 2 lipsticks that I will be decluttering. The first one is the Jordana Modern Matte Lipstick in the shade Matte Blush 02. We'll be getting rid of it. Way too light on me. It doesn't really work, and the stink on this is just really bad. It's like it smells like Play-Doh, like a Crayola. I don't know. Ooh, it's just really strong. It smells weird, so I'm gonna get rid of it. The next one that I will be getting rid of, I actually have on my lips today. This is the Wet n Wild Color in Crimson Crime. I just got newer red shades of Becca lipsticks that I prefer more than this lipstick. I just don't think it's pigmented enough, and it's really glossy. It doesn't have a long staying power on me, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. This is the one that I'm wearing right now. Really pretty, but again, it's just not work for me, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. All right. A trio of shadows. It's the bento box from what is this product? Kaja Beauty Bento Box in Rosewater. I think it's time for me to get rid of this palette. I'm just not using it enough and keeping it enough. I really didn't only use it besides just using this first shade. This is the shade that I reach for the most because it is just that pretty topper shade. If I was just to keep this palette for this one shade only, that'd be very very wasteful of me. So I can see this going to a different home and getting much more use of from somebody else. So that will be decluttered. My 3 palettes that are in this shopping block for the month of August. I have 3. I'll talk about the first one that I know I'm not getting rid of. I'm actually wearing it on my eyes today. I have lipstick all on my teeth now. Great. All right, this is the Dose of Colors Fornication Desi and Katy palette. I have it on my eyes today. It's a really pretty palette. I don't have anything but 2 shades, and I'll talk about that. Actually 3. So I have this shade right here in Girl Bye on my crease. I have this shade here in A Moment on my brow bone, and I have this shade here in Game Over all over my lids. So those are the only 3 shades I have. I think this is such a pretty palette. I do love these shades. I love the palette as a whole. I like the whole colors in here, so I'm going to keep this a little longer in my collection and just use it. It's a really pretty palette. I know this, you can no longer get this one, I don't believe, unless you find it through like third parties or different websites. I don't think you can find this anywhere else. Like I said, unless you purchase it from a third party or a different website. Sorry, I've just been filming a lot today. So anyways, yes, I will be keeping this palette. I am a little bit longer again. I really love this palette. It's just so pretty. My favorite shades are these 2. And that's what I currently have in my eyes. So another one that I for sure see myself keeping is the Lemonade palette from Dominique Cosmetics. Besides the fact that the packaging is absolutely gorgeous, I love her formulation and I can't say anything wrong about it. I have not purchased any newer of her newer palettes. I do see myself purchasing her Transitions palette coming up here soon. I've been kind of eyeing it and kind of like lusting over the Transition palette because it's just something that I do plan on, you know, using a lot because I do use my eyeshadows. You guys know I do my weekly rotations. You guys know that I do use my palettes in my collection. And some of these shades, like specifically these shades, I don't really have a lot of this. Especially like these PT ones, and this green one is just so pretty. This one in Cucumber. I think this one all over the lids by itself is just really pretty. So again, I will be keeping this palette a bit longer in my collection and just using it more because it is a really pretty palette. All right, last palette, and unfortunately I will be getting rid of it, is the palette from Juvia's Place in Deuce. I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think this is any longer available or available any longer. I don't think this is available, but if it is, I would say this is probably one of their most loved palettes, if I'm not mistaken. I know Kelly Gooch really likes this palette, but for me to keep this palette is just not enough. I've used it and I played with it and I did a colorful look with this shade here. I just don't like it enough to keep it. Unfortunately, it's going to be going, and this is one of the most unique shades honestly in this palette. It's like a kind of like a shift of kind of purple. It's really pretty. You see the shimmer it kind of gives, but when I put it on my eyes, it doesn't really give the same effect as when I swatch it here. I don't know, maybe like with this shade. Yeah, I have purples, I have other shades that are really similar, so for that reason it's gonna go. I'm just not gonna keep it in my collection. And to be honest, Juvia's Place has just really disappoints me. Their customer service experience that I've had also issues with some of their shimmers and some of their mattes blending out. So unfortunately, I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this palette as a whole and just move it along in my collection. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the palettes and the foundations and the products that will be in this chopping block for September. So let's actually talk about those and kind of show you guys those products that will be in my chopping block for September that I can probably see declutter in the future, but they will be used all the month of September. This is the whole purpose of me doing these chopping block monthly videos, is to show you the products that I think will be decluttered, but I'm going to test out one more month to see if they will be decluttered. So let's actually talk about those products. All right, so let's quickly talk about those products. I just completely realized that there's a water bottle behind me. I apologize. Anyways, okay, so I only have a couple of products. I don't have many this month because, again, I'm testing newer products. I'm kind of working with those newer products. I have some newer palettes. I have some newer foundations that I'm working with. So I just have a couple of things. The first thing being the Infallible L'Oreal Fresh Wear 24-hour foundation in a powder. I have this in the shade 130 True Beige, which I think is too light, but I'm going to use it as a powder with the Danessa Myricks Vision Cream Cover 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. So I guess this is kind of like a whole thing in one. I'm going to test these products out more. I'm going to see if they really do like them as much as I thought I did. I'm going to see if like maybe they'll be sticking around in my collection. We'll see. But these are the ones that I have for base products. For cheek products, I have the the Catkin blush in 03. This is like a PT blush. I just really want to test this out more and see if I will keep it. I love the packaging, but it's just not enough for me to keep this product around if I don't love it and don't reach for it enough. So it's going to be in my chopping block. Another product that will be in the chopping block for this month of September will be the NARS blush in Fire Clay. I really lusted over this blush for so long and I finally picked it up. It was pretty pricey, I will say that, but again, I just don't reach for it enough to like say it's like really loved. So I'm gonna reach for this one and see if it will be kept, if it will be decluttered. I do see this being decluttered in the future, but again, if I do fall in love with it, maybe I won't declutter it. If I do, maybe I will. We'll see. Along the same things, Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. These are a lot of pricey products, so keep that in mind, you guys. That's why I want to do these chopping block product monthly things, because I do want to use my products and I want to see if these will be kept in my collection. This is the bronzer and this is the highlighter. It is the light, I believe the light duo, fair to medium duo. So this is pretty pricey product. Again, it's pretty pricey, and I think that these are products that need to be used more in my collection, and if they just don't get used, they will be moved along to new homes that will be using them. This does have a pretty long shelf life of 30 months, so I'm pretty sure it's still really good, and it can be passed on if I do decide to declutter it. Products that I do seem to declutter and that I can see that they're no longer good, I will be giving them in the garbage, like toss them in the trash. I'm not going to be passing those along to friends and family if I know they're not good. I usually just give you know, my decluttered products to friends and family. I don't give them to subscribers. Just keep that in mind. There is certain occasions where I do, like if someone reaches out to me and says, hey, you know, I want to see if you can give me this palette or if I can buy it off of you. I usually don't allow you to buy them off of me. I will just go ahead and send them to you if you're a subscriber that, you know, I do talk to a lot. So keep that in mind. But again, I don't want to like get sued or anything. So I try to just kind of give them to friends and family. And whatever I don't, I just usually toss or donate to a women's shelter. All right, another palette. It's pretty pricey. Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Instant Eye Palette. Pretty pricey palette, but I don't reach for it enough, and I want to use it, and I want to see if it will be kept in my collection, if it's going to be used more. I don't know. I just don't know why I don't reach for this enough, but I need to, because I see some shades in there that I can see myself using every day, and I just don't know why I don't. So that will be in there, as well as the BH Avocado Toast Palette. I've talked about this in previous videos. This is just one of those palettes that just 100% doesn't draw my attention, and I just don't know what to do with this palette sometimes. Obviously, I can go for an all green look, but I want to use, you know, different looks. I want to see, maybe watching some videos using this palette will kind of inspire me, but I want to use this for the whole month of September, and I want to see if I do use it. If I don't, if I will declutter it and pass it on to a new home. Plus, it is a little bit newer to my collection, so I know it's in really good condition, and maybe it can be passed on to a friend or family member. Two more eye products. The third one being the Rare Beauty. This is the Nearly Mauve liquid eyeshadow. I do see myself using this one as a single a lot because I've been really into this color story, but I need to figure out if I'm going to use this or not, if I'm going to declutter it, what I'm going to do. So that will be also one. And last but not least, breaks my heart to say this because I was really excited for this brand, but this palette unfortunately just doesn't really draw my attention. This is the Nabla Secret palette. And like I said, unfortunately, this palette is just not one that I want to reach for. It's a really pretty color story, but for some reason, it just doesn't pull my attention in 100%. I really want to do a smoky eye with these two shades. Maybe I'll do that in the future. But again, this is going to be that's in my chopping block because, again, it's just not getting enough love from me. So yeah, those are the products that will be in my new shopping block for the month of September. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this concept. I know it's not something totally revolutionary and totally new, but it just kind of makes you wonder and makes you look into your collection and kind of decide what you want to keep, what you don't want to keep. It kind of helps you as well, kind of like rotate your products around and kind of play with your products more. So yeah, these are the products that will be in my month of September for my chopping block. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, make sure you leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.